12 About Town today. Sponsored by CoStar Group.
All right, guys, so welcome back to 12 About Town today. I'm Candice Smith, and as you can see, we got our good buddy, Johnathan Miller, back here. And Thanksgiving, it's literally tomorrow. And some people, they like to use the fancy plates, the china, and then some of us, we just have paper plates and we just throw it away. But you're going to help us set the table either way, Johnathan.
You know, we all have these moments where we want it to be really fancy.
Yeah.
And with that, we also have inherited pieces, some china pieces, or, you know, when you get married, that's one of the things people register for.
Yeah.
That gets put in the cabinet. You want to pull it out a couple times a year, dust it off at least. That's why my mom used to say dusting was the way that, you know, how she cleaned these dishes up. But you can also do some fun things too.
Okay.
Let's say you're having a big, huge family Thanksgiving. Ask people to bring their favorite china with them.
Oh,
and then you can coordinate it and do a fun little, like, you know, spot here with this setting. I mean, you know, I've got 3 pieces here, 3 different ones.
I love this.
That I'm showing. And so that way, you know, none of these are from the same collection.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, but I love them all.
And then I'm able to just layer them together.
I can only imagine what your house looks like, Johnathan. I'm just sitting here every time.
It's a hot mess.
No, I don't believe it. I'm amazed every time. Okay, I love it. So all different kinds, and it still looks amazing.
And you know, and the thing is too, silverware, everybody always struggles with this. And I'm like, you know, let's just pre-make these.
Okay.
You can put an extra paper napkin in here, because who doesn't have something spilled or something, you know, while they're sitting there at the table. They have the fancy cloth napkin, and it's like, oh no, I don't want to wipe up this wine with this white cloth napkin. But then we've got you saved here a little bit. It also helps save your napkins.
There we go. Okay, right, because we don't want the red wine on our cloth napkins.
But let's say you're doing a huge buffet style Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And you want to just save a little bit of, you know, you don't want to have to, because all this is hand wash. Who wants to hand wash, you know, 30 plates?
Right.
I know I don't.
And not me, especially after eating like that.
So what you can do is, even here, I still use this same, if you want to show that one, the napkin and insert, but I use plasticware. But I use silver plasticware.
I was going to say, this is like quite fancy. I mean, even from a distance, I don't know if you could immediately tell that it's plastic. I love this.
And you know, that still gives you a little bit of flair at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I used a fancier little dessert plate there underneath that's blue.
Yes.
And then a clear plastic main plate. It is. It's heavier. So then that way things aren't falling off. That's the one thing about paper plates that always bug me. If you're using that, then if you're loading up like you do on Thanksgiving, you don't want it to bend in the middle.
I'm so curious for people at home, if I wouldn't have like tapped on this, or if you wouldn't have said, this looks, I mean, although like you said, this is our cheaper side, this still looks really good, Johnathan.
You can put it together very, very easily.
Oh my gosh, like this is, stunning. I love this. Okay. And where can we get some of these things from?
You can go to Target to buy almost all of these things. I've set you up as usual on my blog with an Amazon list. So if you just need to go hit that same day delivery today, you're all set for that.
Okay.
You know, I had thought of everything for Thanksgiving, but I had not even thought about setting the table until yesterday. And I thought, oh, well, I'm glad I'm doing this today, because now I'm going to have a table together.
Right. Now, this is a nice idea too. I love, let's see if we can come back to these, like how you had your paper napkin in that, like that is so genius.
I love adding that in, because it's just one of those things, when you go for your silverware, you go for your napkin. If you're not using a cloth napkin, I always end up needing an extra napkin. I don't know if I'm that messy or what.
Right.
But it's also, you've got your silverware in there. And one thing with silverware, only set the table for what you and your guests are going to be needing.
Okay, right.
You know, you can go and there's a whole like 25 forks and all this thing, but you don't need all that.
Right.
I mean, you know, use the ones you're going to, if you're going to serve a soup, have a soup spoon then, but if you're not, you don't need that soup spoon there.
Right.
You don't need extra plates if you're not going to have that. If you're not going to serve tea and coffee then, you don't need the fancy tea and coffee cups. Because then that again allows you more for decor.
I love all of this too.
If you notice, I brought some of the inside outside, inside. But these are actually just dried leaves that I bought at a local store. Actually, I brought them back from Connecticut. They're not here, but, you
love
know,
it.
So still. Pumpkins are again from Target.
Yes.
But you want to make sure your centerpiece is not too tall. Sometimes people go overboard because you see these big extravagant centerpieces. You go to Maymont. She loved a big centerpiece, but there's no way you're going to see your guest across the table.
Right.
So maybe
we don't want
if you don't want to talk to them, you put a big centerpiece up, but otherwise you want to keep them a little lower.
Okay, we got the in-laws or whoever you didn't want there. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Now, this here on the table, I am such a fan of this. To-go boxes?
This is my favorite thing that I found this year for everybody is to-go boxes. Because how many times do you have so many food things that you overload? Like, I love sweet potato casserole. My husband hates it. So we're always going to have so much extra. If I'm
Yes.
eating somewhere, I'm going to be more than happy to take a to-go box of that because I'm like,
Yes.
I'm going to get it otherwise.
Yes.
You know, if your favorite's mac and cheese, then you just pack some extra in here. You get to take it home.
And you know, mac and cheese is the key to my heart. Now I'm going to go get these because we will be at my mother-in-law's and she's going to be throwing down. So I'm going to need to get some of these to pack home. This is such a great idea. And they're so cute. I love it. Jonathan, you're so amazing. Head over to Jonathan's website, social media,
Yep.
all of that.
Yep, JohnathanHMiller.com, and there's a blog there, everything you need, including how to set the table with all the fancy plates and knives, so then you're set to go.
There you guys go. We'll be right back with more 12 About Town today. Happy Thanksgiving.